Hi, I'm John Reeves of Smokin.
And I'm Townley.
We're going to show you how to do some basic competition style ribs here at the American Royal. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to flip the rib over, the bone side up. We're going to pull this belly flap up and we're going to trim the belly fat off.
So next, we need to take the membrane here that's on top. We just have to kind of get under. I like to use paper towel, get a little spot started. You don't want to get down. Now notice you don't want to get all the way down to the bone. There's another set of membrane in here that you just have to get under. It's very thin.
Then we're going to flip it over, see kind of where it lays, where the nice meaty side is. Flip it back. We're going to find out right here and then trim our ends off. Usually you can run your fingers, if you're curious where the bones are, you can kind of run your fingers, you can feel the soft spots and see where the meat is in between the bones. You want to cut in between the bone. But if you cut it too small and they don't half-ass match, one will cook a lot faster than the other. So you want them remotely to be similar. So our first layer we're going to put on is like a pecan rub. It's got a little bit of spice in it, but it's a real savory rub. A lot of brown sugar. It's going to keep these ribs nice and red. We're just standing them up to make sure we can get the rub on the ends. Our second layer, we're going to put a little Loot and Booty everything rub. I want to layer the flavor. Just a good all-around rub. All right, so now that we have them seasoned, before we put them on the GMG, we want to let these ribs sweat for just about 10 minutes or so. What's going to happen is the salts, the sugars, everything is going to start penetrating the meat. It's going to start pulling moisture to the surface. You can see how nice and glistening and how shiny these ribs are. These are ready to hit the pit. So after we put the ribs on, we're going to let them run for a little while so they start to dry out. So we're just going to take a light apple spritz or any kind of spritz sugar water if you like. Spritz them every 15 minutes until they reach about 140, 145 internal. So now it is time to wrap the ribs, kind of clean them up a little bit. Give them one more dose of seasoning, let them pop a little bit, just a light dusting. Really just normal squeezy butter. We're using the butter to keep moisture inside there. Put them back on the pit. A minute ago when we were probing it, I was trying to feel the texture of the rib so it wasn't too soft but not too stiff. Went in nice, not quite like butter because I don't want the ribs to completely fall apart. That kind of tells us, you know, we're shooting for about a 195, less than 200 internal. So we're just opening up one end of the wrap, saving the juice, au jus off of the ribs. Saving it because we're going to brush it right back onto the ribs. So now I'm just kind of painting the ribs. I'm just taking some of that au jus we took out of the ribs earlier just to keep them moist, give them a little glisten. All right, now that these ribs have the color that we want, the tenderness that we're looking for, we're going to slice them up and see if they have the taste that we were shooting for. This is how you do your basic Smokin' X competition rib. Super simple, you can do this at home. Hey, we appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you next time. Team GMG.